Hello everyone, it is Victoria Mattia and I am the Mom Care Coach. So today we are on episode number 10 and it's kind of a unique episode because I actually got a question from my audience and I wanted to share that, and I decided to make a podcast episode out of it as an answer. Yes, the person already knows and it's not a problem. So I'm going to read it to you. The question is, how can you be consistent with self-care as an unorganized autism mom? Okay, so the reason why I laugh at that question is because if you know me personally, you know that that's who I am. I am an unorganized autism mom. I have ADHD. And I have always had systems to really help me. And so systems that I created. So let's talk about that. That is actually our one big idea, which is how we do that. How do we become consistent? We create systems, not routines. Routines, they come as a byproduct of having good systems. So the difference between a system and a routine is very structured and it does not deviate from that particular structure. Things are done in a particular way all the time for that routine. So a system is also structured, but there's a little bit more fluidity with it. You have options with it. It doesn't have to be done exactly the same way. You just want the same outcome. So systems are really the way to go when you're looking to be consistent, and I have 3 tips to share with you on how to make that happen. So first, I want to tell you of our 4 intentional needs, also known as our anchors. We're focusing on mindset today. And so these 3 tips are going to really go into mindset, and that's going to help you be consistent, okay? So consistency can be challenging really for anyone, especially if you tend to be a bit unorganized. But I will even go as far as to say when a person has a lot going on at one time in situations that can be a little bit overwhelming, they can start to feel things aren't as organized as they would like, and these 3 tips can be helpful for them as well. Consistency is important to be able to reach a goal, and it's important to be able to have certain practices become habits, which is what we want here at the Mom Care Coach podcast. We want to create proper habits that's going to lead us to our goals. That is the whole point of having our 4 intentional needs. Okay, so the first tip that I have for you when it comes to becoming more consistent is habit stacking. So what's really great is that I have really simple systems to help me, and I also use habit stacking. So let me give you an example. So when I get up in the morning, I like to have my Yeti already filled with water. And so I immediately go and I have water, which helps me because I have it in the kitchen, and then I also do meal prepping, and I know I like to get food started. Excuse me. I like to get food started, and so I have that done all in the same area at the same time. So boom, 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 I already know what I'm doing. I'm drinking my water. I am turning on the stove to get started with breakfast for my boys. And then I'm looking at my to-dos. So all of this is kind of set in the same area. It's all in the kitchen. Everything's kind of set out, so I already know what to do. And that system creates really amazing habits, okay? So that is stacking one habit on top of another habit. So if I was a person who was really trying to solidify a habit of drinking water first thing in the morning before I had any caffeine, which I was that person, and that's why I created the system, I already have the water set aside. I know that once I leave my bedroom, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to the bedroom, I'm going to go to the bathroom, I'm going to brush my teeth, I'm going to do some oil pulling, I'm going to check on the kids, I'm going to do all this stuff for my morning routine, and then I'm going to go to the kitchen. And so everything is already set out there for me to go ahead and get started. The second thing that I like to do when it comes to consistency is to use a paper planner. So I like the planners by Horatio Printing. Polly Payne is the one who makes those. She's so awesome. The planners are they're beautiful, and there's different styles you can choose from. Each year there's a different style. So I like this particular planner, but to be quite honest, the point is that I'm writing my plans for the week down. I am putting in the habits that I'm working on, making sure I'm drinking water, making sure I'm doing my movement, making sure I have also a list of things I'm trying to avoid doing, maybe certain things or phrases I'm saying that I want to stop saying, or maybe certain thoughts that play in my mind that I want to stop playing in my mind. I have different things that I put in my planner. And what I love about using a paper planner is that it takes the things that are in my head and put them onto paper, not just in my phone. So the reason that is because we are moving towards being more of an unplugged family. That does not mean that we are never on social media. I mean, you look at me, I'm already always on social media. I am on YouTube, I am on TikTok, I am on Instagram, and all of these areas, but it's very strategic, and it's not a lot of time that I'm actually on those areas. I post, I record on my phone, I do different things, but I'm not actually on social very much, and I'm not actually on the internet very much, because I want to be able to live my life, not focusing on everyone else that's living theirs. And what is helping me really is using a paper planner. It is writing those intentions down and having a place where those intentions live, and then actually have time stamps on getting those things done in the way that I can do it, that makes it consistent for me and makes it able so that I have a way of actually making it happen. It's not just a wish in my head or a thought in my head. It's actually has a home in the planner, and it has timestamps with it. So I am moving toward my goals, not just hopes and wishes, because those don't come true. In order to reach a goal, we actually have to put one step in front of the other, and that is done in a multitude of ways, and one of the ways is actually writing down our plans. So the third tip, so the first tip was habit stacking. The second tip was using a paper planner. Going back to the paper planner, I use a paper planner, but in my phone, I will have, I put something, it's called my fundamental needs. I got that from Chelsea Joe. She has a podcast, and it's called Systemize Your Life. And that is all about having your fundamental needs. What are the things that you need to move you forward towards your goals and help you feel productive throughout your week, having a productive week. So for me, I have my workout is a part of my fundamental needs every week. My workouts rather, my work. I have a business, I have an online health shop, I have a podcast, and I have a community that I'm building for women that are mothers of children on the autism spectrum. So I have that. And then also my mothering is very important to me. How I'm communicating with my children, the tone of my voice, what I'm doing, what am I doing throughout the week. Homeschooling, I homeschool my boys. That is very important to me. So everyone has their own fundamental needs. So there are certain times that you're focusing also on. My fundamental needs is tidy cues and clean zones, having certain times that I am actually focusing on my household and making sure that it's up and tidy. And I call it the 3 H's for me. It is home management, that has to do with cleaning and laundry and meal planning and meal prep and everything. And then homeschooling, because I homeschool my boys, as I said. And what is my third H? Home management, homeschool, and I think that's all the other things that goes along with those 3 things. If it comes back to me, I will let you know. I actually wrote it down. Yeah, so if it comes back to me, I will let you know. I have that wrote in another binder. But anyway, these are really important things for me, and now it's bugging me trying to figure out what that last age was, because I had just come up with it. I'm like, oh, this is a great way to remember it. Let's talk about the third thing. So I want to talk about managing energy leaks. Okay, so our energy has to do with how we manage the energy that God has given us, how we manage our time, how we move throughout the day. Are we having negative thoughts mostly, or are we having positive thoughts mostly? When a negative thought pops up in our mind, how are we managing that? All of that how we manage it can help us create and support more happy energy to do the things that we need to do, or it can actually take energy away from us. So, to help me with energy leaks, like I said, I don't spend as much time on social media. But another thing is I use 2 phones. Now, hear me out. I have my iPhone that I love and I do everything on. And what I was noticing is that I literally was doing everything on it and I was spending too much time, I felt like, on my phone versus like in my life looking at my children's faces and doing different things. And I didn't like that, so I wanted to change that. And so what I did is I have 2 phones. I have one phone that has all of my social media apps, my Gmail, everything, how I do my work stuff, all of that is on that phone. But my other phone, so my iPhone that has everything on it, I only use that during my work hours, and I set my work hours. And then my other phone, it's just, going back to the third H, is my home-based business. For the 3 H's, home-based business, homeschool, and home management. Wow, this is real life, people, when I record these episodes for you. It's real life. And the reason why I'm not going to edit this out, like I could edit it out and make it all cute with the cute little bow and everything. But the reason why is I think that I'm real life, and people, they appreciate the fact that I'm just a normal, regular human being who, have moments where like, oh, what was that again? I forgot. So that's okay. I'm human. It's normal. I'm a mom. So the 3 H's again: homeschool, home-based business, and home management. Okay, anyway, going back to energy leaks. So I use 2 phones because one phone has everything in it, and I only take that out to take a picture and to use during my work hours. My other phone, I literally don't have anything on it. As a matter of fact, I'll show it to you. This is my other phone. It literally, the whole point of having that phone is to put timers so that when it's time for me to do a fundamental need, it'll go off. And so I can check the time, and it has alarms on it. That is it. And I have that all day, every day, unless I am doing my work. Okay, so I am recording right now and I'm using my iPhone because I am working. This is during my work hours. However, throughout the day, when I'm homeschooling, when I'm cooking, when I'm meal prepping, when I'm reading to my kids, all of that, it's done with this other phone. And the only time I actually have to pick this phone up, because I will turn this one off or on airplane mode, the only time, because if you can see me on YouTube doing this episode, then you see the 2 phones. If not, I'm holding the other phone that I use, and the only thing I have is whenever I'm like, oh, what time is it? And I'll pick it up. It doesn't even have internet on this phone. That's the great thing. There's no internet on it. I can just set alarms on it, and I can see the time. That's it. And I purposely did that because I feel like I have more energy that way, because I'm not spreading myself thin, trying to be everything to everybody. That's probably a different episode. We'll have to do an episode on that because boundaries are so important. And to be honest, I didn't really find out about boundaries until I was an adult. It wasn't something that was spoken about when I was a child. And I think for my age demographic, that is something that's very common. And so now it's really important for us as women, as moms, to focus on our time and our energy, because our time and our energy is really the only resources we have. I always think of money as a tool, so I don't think of it necessarily as, I guess technically it is a part of energy, but it is not something that is coming from me as a person. My time and my energy comes from within me. It is an extension of myself. I'm giving that out. So if I am not consciously or intentionally giving that out, then that can be taken away from me without me really being aware of it. Because a lot of times, people will get up and we'll check our phones pretty, right after we have gotten up, a few minutes after we've gotten up, just out of habit. And it starts the process of taking your energy away from you without your permission. So it's really important for you to be very intentional on that. And the reason why is because I want to be able to give my best to my family. I want to be able to keep the best for myself too, so that I can take care of myself and show up as the woman that I want to show up. And I don't want my children, my family, to get my leftovers after I have given out all the energy to who wants me through email, who's wanting to text and have all these phone calls with me, who's wanting all of these different things from me as a person, and then just giving the people that I love and care the most about my leftovers. And I don't want that. And I'm sure you don't want that either. That's why you're listening to me. So that's something to think about and to be really mindful of. So what's really great about using two phones is like I said, I just have my fundamental needs in that phone. And then also in the paper planner, I write down my fundamental needs. And I think that it's important. Like, don't be afraid to experiment and say, hey, how much time am I actually on the phone with my head to screen, right? You can check that like in your settings, and then test yourself to see if it's an issue, right? And for some people, I know if they don't want to get two phones, another thing you can do, and this is what I did before I got two phones, was that I would take off the social media apps and my email app and like my Prime Video app and like different apps that I use pretty frequently without even thinking about it, just to check it out. I would take those off every day, and then I would just have a time set up where I would check those. So that is also a really beautiful option, because then you don't even have to worry about it. So to review, this is all mindset stuff, really. And we have habit stacking, taking one habit that you're wanting to get really good at and kind of slicing it in between or on top of or underneath another habit that is already solidified, that you've already been doing for a while, to help you to create those really great habits. And that happens when we set up really good systems, because the systems are what's going to get us to creating a proper routine as a byproduct. But it's not as structured, and it gives you more flexibility, and it can solidify in your mind what it is you're trying to accomplish. And so that second item, the second tip, was using a paper planner. Paper planners are not outdated. It's still a thing. I have always loved planners, but that's me. But I have noticed that as a mom, using a paper planner, I'm really productive, because I'm actually able to get the thoughts onto paper and not have them kind of rattle around my mind, wondering and getting nervous and anxious about things. So that helps a lot. And then our third tip for today was to manage our energy leaks. See where your time and energy is going. If you find yourself to be exhausted all the time, then you can help that. You can do some strides to move away from that. And then also, these kinds of things helps you to become more organized, but it's in a fashion that can be accessible to many people, that even if you're not a type A person. So take a look at some of these tips, leave some comments, let me know. Do not forget to write a 5-star review on my podcast in iTunes, because people do really look at those, and it really helps so that it's able to access the people that are really needing the information that I'm able to put out. And also, if you're looking to have one-on-one coaching, I am still taking new clients at this time. I have an online health shop, and I can help you access that as well. If you would like to sign up for the newsletter, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Please email me, and I will be able to set you up with that as well. Don't forget to come on over to Facebook, and you can say hello to everyone in the Mom Care Coach Facebook podcast group. All right, so I hope you have a great day. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.